By the way, when I say cue the music, I'm pretending there's music. There's no music. And when I say
I hear the music.
cue
I
the
hear
graphics, there are no
it.
graphics.
Graphics. We are.
Hello, my name's Tom Wise,
I am Melinda McKinsey from Brooklyn, New York.
and I'm broadcasting live from Tarpon Springs near Tampa in Florida. It's the
Yes.
COVID capital of the world.
And congratulations on that. And how do we know each other, Tom? Do you
We met
remember?
in a improv class. You were working at HSN then, were you? We met in
Yes.
an improv class 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. I worked at HSN 15 years.
Good heavens.
I just wasn't famous there like you were. Like I knew of you, you did not know of me.
My fame was at the peak 15 years ago. Now I'm down in
So
the bottom.
so I knew of you, and then we had the improv
Yes.
class. And I really think when we really became, my memory is when we became very good friends, is you were at a party that I had at one of my ex's house, and my girlfriend was pulling up pictures on the computer, and you saw a joke picture for my in the private album where I was leaning into
Oh,
the up,
that's right.
and I had a thong.
Yeah, you
And
had
that's
a hot bathing suit on or something.
yeah, and
I
that's when
saw.
you looked at me and said, "Do you want to work together on something?"
We ought to work a lot together in close quarters.
Talk. That's my memory of like that's when Tom finally was like, "Hey,
Huh.
you."
Uh-oh, I just disconnected myself.
You did disconnect yourself. Don't be embarrassed about the truth of our relationship. It's totally fine. You do not have to hide because of that. But I think that that's very funny. And I don't know what your memory is of that time, but I remember very specifically how you really started talking to me. And that's when we went to the improv class together. And wow, you're still very disconnected, but your name is there. Hi, your name is there, but there's no technology. Oh, it wasn't you. It's that song. Yeah. So yeah. So what do you want to well, what's the name of our show? Hold on. Okay. Okay, and what's the name of our show again? Because we were called What a Show for several years. We lost our name because we took a hiatus. Someone stole our beautiful name called What a Show. And now we are called Wise and McKinsey. Let's unpack some shit. That's who we are now. Yeah. 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 Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yes. And and I think that's adorable. And I think it's because we also will say things I think most people think and don't say out loud. And I think that's a good part about our relationship is you will say things I've never considered. And I'm like, well, that's shocking. I totally disagree with you. Let me tell you my opinion. And here's the thing with people in the world today. We have disagreed on things and we've never hated on each other or never gotten into a fight about it. We disagree. Yeah, we disagree. And I think that's a good lesson to be had in today's world. It's okay to disagree. It really is. You can move on with your life and not, build an enemy or a fortress around you. So thank you. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. All right. What do you want to yeah, let's do this thing. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. So mine one is called Moment. Yeah, I have some things to tell you. Um, well, I have something called moments. I'll explain it. It's about moments in your life. I have something called childhood memories, good or bad, good or bad. Sexy talk. We got to get our sexy talk in. We were noted last time. We did not get the sexy talk in. We must. We must. And book recommendations. Okay, that's what I got. Okay, let's do moments. I want to talk about moments. What I'm saying here is, in life, even before all this stuff happened, we're working, we're surviving, we're eating, we're doing stuff. How many times in your life have you stopped and thought, wow, I'm really loving all of this. Like, this is a moment, this feels good, right? I think we do it for bad stuff. Bad stuff happens and we're like, oh, this is a terrible. One of the first things that comes to mind is, I moved to New York after living in Florida. I had no job. I just moved here. I wanted to live here. I've been here 8 years. Everybody told me not to do it. So of course I did it. And it didn't, yes, another reason. Um, and things worked out very well for me, and I have this wonderful job, and I was on my way to work because I used to travel. I was getting into a car service in New York. So I'm living in New York. I have a car service taking me to the airport because I'm getting ready to travel all week for my job. And as I'm getting into the car, everything just hits me, and I thought, I really want to take this moment in because this is great. I've been told for so long that I was a failure, that I couldn't do things. Why are you moving? Because I'm 59. I was over 50 when I moved. I know. I was over 50 when I moved here, and I was
Stop
told,
lying.
you're too old. You can't do that. It was such a moment, and I'll never forget those feelings that I had of like, I'm so grateful. I'm so glad I listened to myself. So for me, that was a moment.
Were you listening to the Mary Tyler Moore theme song in the back?
I do like to take slow motion videos of myself throwing hats up. I do
You
like to
could
do that.
turn the world on. I love it. You know what? That's great. Everybody, I mean, no, not everybody was telling you no. There were people that were supporting your venture.
Who?
I'm sure there was somebody. Maybe the guy.
Nobody said yes. Everybody either said no or, oh, I'll see you when you come back.
Wow, we'll keep a spot for you. You can
I'll
stay
see
with
you
me when you come back.
Yeah, so it's because I took a risk and it made people uncomfortable. People didn't want me to suffer. I'd gone through a bad divorce,
You
and
know, I remember those days, and I was thinking about that, and like
yeah,
I remember you were going up from what you told me, you were going up because somebody wanted you to audition for a
yes,
talk show, right?
yes,
And I'm
yes,
saying, boy, that's a big move to move just for an audition. How about
yes,
if I just go up there for a couple weeks and audition, and if I get the gig, I'll go up there.
yes, yes. I
That
had
seemed
an
like
agent.
more
Yeah,
logical thing to do.
it was crazy, but I was at a breaking point in my life, and I knew I needed a big change. And I knew when I came to New York, even if I didn't get the job I wanted, I would waitress, I would do whatever
Right,
to
right.
stay for at least a year. In my head, that's what
Yes,
I did. I dog walked, I did things, I was an assistant for somebody. It didn't
you,
just open
you
up
did
like
things you
that.
weren't proud of.
I mean, I'm not proud of. I've done things I shall never mention, or maybe I will during the show, maybe during sexy
We can
talk.
only we can we we can only hope.
Yes.
That's very interesting. As I've gotten older, I've also learned to appreciate moments. You never know when it's the last time, not because they're going to be dead, but it's the last time you interact with a particular individual. You know, just even people on the street. I'd like to think that I've settled or mellowed, and I'm not as crazy. I never was really crazy, but
Yeah.
give yourself a little bit of space. What is it? I was listening to another podcast, and the guy was talking about stoicism and kind of
Stoicism.
stoicism. Yes, I
Okay.
think it's a Greek philosophy, could be a Roman philosophy.
About being
And
stoic. That
being
like
stoic, well, being aware of your place on the planet, like just a piece of a puzzle, and choosing to do the right thing rather than some
oh,
emotional, negative thing or wrong
okay.
thing.
What
But
podcast was this? Do we know?
it was Adam Carolla. He had
Adam Carolla. Is he
um,
the number one podcast guy or something?
he's up there.
Okay.
He's one of the founding fathers, and he does a really nice show where he's got a news person and a sidekick, and they bring
Okay.
in all sorts of. He's popular enough that he can pull in, high powered stars. I mean, he had
Okay.
oh, who was the guy
All
who
those high powered stars.
what? Who was the actor who played the the pizza guy in that one movie where he's he's eating a pizza in class? Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, Sean Penn.
Sean Penn. Had Sean Penn on the show last
Yeah.
week. I mean, he has some great guests.
Okay. So have you had a moment where you're like, oh, this is, I'm feeling it.
Well, yeah. Well, now when I go visit my son and we're having dinner together, and I'm like, just really appreciate this moment. I mean,
Yeah.
because right now things are good, but we've seen
Things are
things
good.
turn on a dime.
Right.
Around here, and things are different. You never know when things are going to change. So I think appreciate, especially the day-to-day things that
Yeah.
happen. When just I step outside, the weather is nice, my
Yeah.
health is good, my back's not hurting. I said,
Right.
enjoy all of that. Just don't think negative at all. Right?
Yeah. I
I
think
just
it's
make up words, by the way.
it, and I will go along with you when you make
Thank you
those
for
words.
agreeing with me.
Oh, yes, of course. So, okay, that's good. Your turn. Topic.
Oh, all right. Anything to catch your eye? All right, let me ask you a question. All right, so I had to go. I was eating a Cheeto the other day, right?
I love
A, a
Cheetos.
Cheeto, I love them. Here's my junk food, and all of a sudden my tooth started hurting. It's like, uh-oh, did I snap a tooth, break a tooth
Fucking Cheetos.
from a Cheeto? I go, my gosh. I've always said my teeth. Are you familiar with the Mohs scale? I used to sell jewelry at HSN for 10
You've
years.
taught me about the
Yeah,
most.
the Mohs scale. Diamond is a 10, chalk is 1.
Yeah.
My teeth are 2 on the Mohs scale. It's a hardness scale.
Okay, that's not good.
So I'm
Did you
eating a
crack
Cheeto.
your tooth?
What's that?
Did you crack your tooth on
So
a
I, I,
Cheeto?
I cracked my tooth, a little fissure in it, so a little food and a little separation. So it wasn't, thankfully, there's not a lot of pain involved, but it's one of those things we all know that your teeth have to be maintained immediately. It's not going to get better on its own.
Right.
So I make an appointment to the next day. I just go into one of these walk-in places. I don't
Okay.
have a regular dentist. Right?
Okay. Well, most people don't.
Yeah. So I go to the walk-in place, and long story short, is the diagnosis is it's removal or a crown and a root canal. And but this is going to be like, we're going to have to schedule this for 2 weeks from now, because our crown root canal people go up and down the stay. I'm going off. That's not very efficient. And I said to the doctor, I said, is there a temporary, I mean, can you temporary, give me a temporary solution? Because I'm afraid I'm going to eat and I'm going to snap it and I'm going to
Right,
be in, I'm
right,
going to
right,
be in
right.
trouble. Oh
And
no,
no.
can't do anything.
Should
So
you get
here,
a second opinion though?
well, of course, I'm not going to
Okay.
party to that nonsense. But
Okay.
here's the wind up to this idea or this philosophy. Okay.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I need a little temporary fix. So I go on Amazon, tooth repair, tooth glue or something.
Isn't
I don't want it to snap off while I'm waiting for my appointment, you know? So
okay.
I'm saying to you, who in your life would you say, see, now since the tooth is located on the top, I
Yeah.
can't get it myself. My head's going to have to be back.
Okay.
And I'm saying, who in my world would I trust or would participate in this home dentistry project?
Um, do you have an answer for that? Who would
It's a short list. Everything's gonna be a lecture. What are you doing? What are you? It's a temporary fix. I just want to buy a little bit of time
you
as
can't
I.
see it yourself to
Huh? Well,
you
no,
can't
because my head would have to be upside down to put the glue in.
okay, okay.
If it was a
Oh,
bottom tooth, I could do it myself. But because
gotcha,
of
gotcha.
dynamics, and there's no way I'm gonna.
Okay.
It needs a
I'm
little.
I'm gonna say your ex Tina.
You think Tina would do that without a lecture?
No, but she would do it well. You're gonna get the lecture,
All
but
right.
if she did it, she would do it well, and that's really all you care about. Take the words, take the hit, let her do it well.
I was
I
thinking
think.
about. I was thinking about my brother Patrick. Maybe he could do it.
Oh, but would he do it well? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think Tina would do a good job. She's got good skills. She's an artist.
Yes, I think Tina would do it well, and that's really what you want. I love your brother Patrick. I do.
Let me also say this: there's an eye consideration with Tina. You need
She
young
can
eyes
wear.
for this.
Well, Patrick, I'm sure.
He doesn't
Please.
wear glasses.
It doesn't mean he has good eyesight.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So who in your life would you ask? What if you got shot? You shot yourself. You're out hunting, and you shot yourself by accident, and you needed somebody to go get the bullet because you couldn't make it in, and magically any person you thought of would appear to do it for you. Would it be Carol? Who's it going to be?
Yes, 1,000%. My sister Carol would do it. She was in the army. She's actually stitched people's faces up. She would do it without hesitation. But then I would need one of my girlfriends for the cosmetic surgery because she wouldn't care about that part, and
Oh,
I would.
how
But
about what about jail? Is she your first phone call too?
for jail, for
How long
jail.
is that list that people would come if you called at 3 o'clock in the morning?
You know what? I feel like I have a solid 5. I have 5 girlfriends
Wow.
that would bury a body for me, and you would never know.
Wow.
Yeah.
5 people. That's big.
I'm 59. I've had a lifetime of being able to
Of
establish
burying bodies of other
very good
people.
friends. And women, I will say, once you have a female friendship, it's do or die. They will do those things for you. What's your list?
I
How many?
think it would be 2. I think we're looking at the same grouping that would
Okay.
fix my tooth.
Are you really going to have your brother Patrick do it though?
I'll probably have Tina do it. This should come
Ask
today on
Tina.
Amazon.
Yeah, and tell Tina I said hello. I love her.
I'll
So
do it. Yeah, she's great. She's doing all sorts of broadcasts from home for Canadian home
as
shopping.
she
She's
should.
doing
She's a
hours at a time.
lovely, lovely human being, your ex. And I applaud you for having such a good relationship because all of my exes have burst into flames. So I
Isn't that
don't
something?
do that.
You know, it's funny. I also feel similarly connected to women that I've dated for 2 or 3 months.
That's
That
lovely.
I could get a phone call if somebody said, "Hey, I need some help moving a box or something's
That's
gone wrong."
lovely.
Anything I could do to help.
Yeah, I think it should. If you care for someone, you should care for someone. And I don't have that, so that's okay. I just don't have it.
Huh.
Uh,
What's your next topic?
my next topic.
I thought that tooth thing would be a bit more exciting than it turned out to be. Sorry.
I mean, it's exciting if you're into teeth and what's that process called again? You called the strength of the
Oh, the
diamond.
Mohs scale.
Mohs scale. And we taught that. No, a lot of people don't know the Mohs scale.
MOHS.
MOHS. Okay, so I was thinking childhood memories because again, I'm going to bring up Brene Brown. When
Every show.
every show, and here's why. I had a segment to do this morning. You know, I work in television, and we're filming remote.
Oh.
I work in television, but I'm working remotely. So when I'm getting ready, I like to put on motivational stuff as I'm getting ready to lift my spirits, to get out of my head space of things I'm angry about, you know. So I was listening to Brene Brown, and she was talking about teaching and childhood. And I thought, you know what? Our childhood obviously is so significant with us. But when you think about your childhood, do you put the magic over it and you're not honest about it? Or are you real honest about like moments in your life? Like, have you ever discussed with your parents, you know what, when I was a kid, this happened and this was disturbing to me? Or when I was a kid, thank you so much, this was lovely. Because I have dug in deep with my mom and I horrify her and delight her because I will have very direct, like, you know what? How come you never said you love me? We had that conversation. You never said you loved me. And she's like, well, I wasn't raised that way. And I was like, well, so what? Say you love me. You know, you don't have to be raised. But she came from an era where that wasn't comfortable. So when I think about my childhood, I have a lot of mixed emotions because I have a lot of we were in the military. We moved around a lot. That was lovely. I grew up in Hawaii. How fantastic is that? But then I also have feelings about, I never really knew my value or my worth. I had sisters and we were all taught, just be nice. You don't stand up for yourself. You don't define who you are. Just get married and everything will be fine. You'll have a family. And that's the era I came from. So I have mixed feelings. And I think we
Right.
should be honest about, you know, how we were raised. I'm not saying my parents were bad. I'm saying they did the best with what they had. And there were some struggles there.
Do you ever watch Mad Men?
I loved Mad Men. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, we were kids in that era. We were the kids
Yes.
running around with the dry cleaning bags around our heads.
We didn't wear helmets for anything. We didn't wash our hands. We drank from the hose outside.
But also the dad that was a little bit distant, you
Yeah,
know, the mom
yeah,
that was, you know, keeping the family together. I mean, I
yeah.
had not for nothing, probably a stronger relationship with my mom. My dad was the authority figure of the house.
Uh-huh.
We were we were friendly.
How many kids in your family again?
8 kids. So
I'm
yeah, as number 6, I mean, as I had children, I could relate to my dad a lot more as an adult. My gosh,
like
I
that.
was exhausted with 3. Could you imagine having 8 kids? Just trying
It's
to
a
carve out
lot.
a few minutes for yourself?
But you were raised in Chicago, correct?
Yes.
And Catholic? Is
Yes,
that why?
Irish Catholic. We all went to private Christian Catholic school for
Okay.
12 years. I mean,
Yeah,
it was like that's
that
a
formed
commitment.
you,
My dad never made $17,000 a year in his
of
life.
course.
And
Yeah,
he died in the late 70s.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So when you think of your childhood, what comes to mind? I mean, I'm guessing you're from the same era I am. You didn't have those heart to heart with your parents. Like, did your parents talk to you about sex?
No.
Please. My mom was like, we're not going to speak of it and don't do it. Oh,
It was crazy.
okay.
But I have the embarrassing thing that I knew she knew I knew about sex because all of a sudden that girly magazine under my pillow disappeared.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. And you know what? Here's the thing young kids don't think about. In that era, we didn't have access to naked pictures like they do now.
Oh
We
no.
had to go
Make your
procure
own.
them. The first time I saw a naked guy was my girlfriend, who had very liberal parents, had a Playgirl magazine.
Right.
And that's the first time I saw a naked man. And I remember looking at it thinking, well, that is not at all what I had envisioned, because no one told me anything and
It's
there were no
crazy.
pictures.
I was on Facebook the other day and a woman said the first naked man I ever saw was Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator. Now, if that's your introduction to being a man or looking at what a man looks, Arnold is a quarter of an eighth of a percent of what men look like. But good luck to
Absolutely.
everybody else that follows that.
Absolutely. No, the first picture I saw was a guy coming out of a pool, and
Yeah.
he had his little limp member hanging over the edge. So he was like,
That was my radio name.
I just
No,
remember looking at it thinking, I didn't know it was a shapeshifter. I didn't know that it
how
grew
would
and
you
changed.
know?
How would you know? And so I remember being very intrigued, and I wanted to read more and see more and do more, but I also knew I couldn't discuss it with my family. I just wanted to know. I wasn't raised around boys. I didn't see, my family was very conservative, so we didn't run around in our underwear. I never saw my dad in his underwear. You know what I mean? So today's kids, I think, have no idea really how sheltered we
How
were as
precious
far,
porn was.
yeah. Who knows porn? I don't know porn. So anyway,
I always thought this is crazy. I had no idea what a woman looked like,
okay.
right? But I was told that a woman from Asia is going to be a little bit slanted. That's
Really?
so racist. But it's like, how would you know? Her eyes are slanted a little bit.
Because here's the thing,
It's insane.
we learn from our friends on the bus or kids that said things, so you just took it. Because that's the other thing in our era. I think this could be just me. I think we looked up to adults to be knowledgeable, and we assumed they knew what they were talking about because they were adults. And now kids are learning from their peers and social media, so they're a lot more informed than we ever were.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. No. It's
interesting.
the veil has been removed.
I mean, yeah, and it's not always great.
No, not
It's not
necessarily a
always
good thing.
good. It's good to be informed. I appreciate social media very much. I appreciate having knowledge, but at the same time, you can have too much knowledge and it takes you to like a dark place where then you get cynical. I think about, the specialness of being naked with someone and the
I
specialness of
agree.
having sex with a partner as opposed to, competing with look how I did that, the porn industry.
Wow.
So,
That'll be our cue.
okay.
That what you're talking about. What was the question again? The topic again? Did I have an opinion on
Well,
it?
um, Well, I started out saying it was childhood memories, and now
Oh.
we're talking about porn. So I
Hmm.
took it there.
It always circles back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. It's not exciting to say my earliest memory would be like the Kennedy. Do you
Of
remember? You remember President Kennedy being shot?
course I do. Yeah, of course I do.
Well,
I
of
was,
course. I'm 2 years older than you. It's not on a course.
well, I guess
You
I
were
don't
three.
you're right. I don't remember the particular event. It was always a part of my childhood. It was something we all knew about. It was
Right.
something that was talked about for years. I was actually born on the day that Kennedy was inaugurated. So the nurses wanted to name me Jacqueline. So I have felt very tied into the Kennedys.
Oh.
It was like a thing growing up. Yeah.
I mean, I have a memory that I recall watching the TV when Jack Ruby got shot when they were tracking.
Wow.
No, not the Ruby. Who's the other? When Ruby shot Oswald as they were taking him from out of the prison. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's a forced memory or real memory, but
Yeah.
in my mind, I was sitting in front of the TV with my mom, and the
My
rest
God.
of the 800 kids,
It
and we
happened
actually,
live. Yeah. It
yeah,
happened live. And that's very different than what television was familiar with. We never saw things like that. So that was quite shocking as opposed to what we see in the world today.
right.
So that was very shocking. I did set the timer. According to my timer, we only have like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm at 23 minutes, but you're right. We're about down in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I just did childhood memories. What's your next? Can we do astrology?
Oh, this is crazy. I don't know if we want to unpack all this shit right now, but
Okay.
let me just tell you, Last December 21st, December 22nd, or whatever it was, I was invited to a ladies group in Sarasota, right?
Okay.
And it was kind of like kind of a hippie thing, organic thing, and they were celebrating winter solstice. I think it's
Oh, yes.
December
Yeah.
22nd, 21st. And it
Yes.
was very nice. Generates a ladies group, but on these particular 3 times a year, you can bring a male friend. So I'm going to say 200-ish, 150-ish people,
Yeah.
20 guys in the mix there. And it's all playing bands, a lot of white, a lot of dancing, a lot of blousy stuff, a lot of
Okay.
flowers. It a very nice event. Very
Okay.
nice event. I was enjoying myself. We're all sitting in a little circle, sitting in a community center in Sarasota,
Okay.
right? So they've got about an hour's worth of programming. So they're
Okay.
about halfway through, and the female president of this association, this group says, "Now let's bring in Sister Sarah. She's going to talk about astrology for 2020." Okay,
Okay. Oh, for
she comes
20.
up and she starts talking, and she goes, "Let me just tell you, it's not going to be good. I see strife. I see troubles. I see bad things," and the whole audience is like, hey, calm down.
This is a party.
4 days before Christmas, lighten up a little bit. We're all in a, and she wouldn't get off of it. She goes, the way that I'm seeing things going, and it's not going to be just a couple of days. It's going to be a long time when things
See?
aren't going to be good. And, and she wouldn't get off of it. Even when she was done, she spoke for about 9 minutes and
Wow.
didn't even put a happy face on the end.
See?
And the president came back and said, "Oh, Sarah, hey, lighten up."
Nobody really put any value into it, did they? Because it wasn't.
No, because the economy is booming. Christmas is around the corner.
Right.
Everybody was feeling good,
Yeah.
and she did not put a happy face on it. But as you can see,
It's so real. I
isn't
would
that
love
crazy?
to, on our next show, let's delve some more into it because I think it's definitely worth talking about. Since we only have a couple minutes left, can we
Uh,
wrap it with sexy talk?
sure, go ahead.
Oh, you want me to start with the sexy
I
talk?
thought, yeah. Well, I thought, did you have
Okay.
something in mind?
I mean, no, but I'll think of
Oh,
something
I've
now.
got one, but it's
You
going to be.
go. No, you go.
We should say this for another time, maybe. Okay.
No, no, do it.
All right. So I'm on dating apps. All right, Lena, and I don't want everybody to hear this. Children, go ahead, turn the mics off, or pretend to go
This
watch
is
a
not
football.
for minors. Go
Okay,
ahead.
whatever. So I'm on a dating app, right? So
Yes.
I'm not, So I swipe right, and it's an attractive 40-some-year-old woman. Swipe right. Blah, blah. 20 minutes later, I get a text back. Hey, how are you doing? I'm in Orlando. Oh, hi. A little far from me, but nice to meet you. Oh, I'm only here on vacation. Huh? With my husband. Oh, isn't that
Oh,
pleasant?
okay.
Yeah, we're looking for number 3. Well, I don't know about that. What's
What a compliment.
yeah.
What a
I
compliment.
I go, it's like, so I'm a little bit curious. I think it would be natural to be curious. I said, well,
You
what's
should.
involved?
Yes.
I'm 98% out anyway, but I might as well. I'm not.
Teach me. I'm teachable. Teach me. Teach me.
Then she described the scene. He's bisexual. It's like,
Okay, that's a different level. Okay.
that's pardon the pun. That's a hard no.
I mean, for you, everybody's different. How would she know unless she
How
asked?
would you know? And I didn't feel assaulted or affronted. It was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
interesting information. She's looking for what she wants,
The
and
guy is
yeah.
attracted to you and the gal is attracted to you. Nice.
And it was quite the uh, flow sheet with the pointer
So
how
she
things
can
were going to go
explain to
down.
you. I would need direction. I've never done a threesome, but I would need direction because I don't want to be
Yeah,
confused about what's happening. So,
yeah. You could bring your knitting when you're not involved. You just keep yourself busy.
yeah.
But I was
See,
going to be involved in everything.
I mean, and you didn't, so you did not go.
It's a pass. Yeah, but
Okay.
it's flattering, I guess. But yeah.
That's sexy. That is sexy. I mean, I will tell you as a woman, I
Ever
think we
get close to anything like that?
know. And I'll tell you why. It's because I feel like
All
I'm
the
a very
sexy
good
time.
partner. And I feel like if I'm not enough to entertain you, then best of luck, buddy, because you don't need another person in the room.
Makes
I
you angry, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna compete or share that part of me. I
I
feel
hear you.
like I am very entertaining and I'm not going to do it. But it doesn't mean it's, oh, there goes the alarm. It doesn't mean that it's wrong for other people,
Of
but
course.
for me, it doesn't. I've known people that do the swinging and, do this stuff and it works for them, not for
Yeah,
me.
no judgment.
Yeah. And so for real quick wrap up, for me, sexy talk, I'm not one to like scream profanities in the bedroom. They've tried that with me and I'm like, oh, I don't look at me. It's not for me. But I will tell you what I find extremely sexy
Go on.
is if, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but I don't care. I find it extremely sexy. Just, I hope I can say this the right way, in like tenderness moments.
Oh,
Like if someone is just remembering something about you and then like rubbing your arm in a
oh.
tender way, not to get something from
Of
you.
course. Yes.
But you say, of course, a lot of men
No,
will
I
only
enjoy
touch
that.
you if they're going in for the full dive.
No, they're
And
missing out on 73% of why you want to be with somebody else.
73%, and I don't know where you got that number, but I believe you.
Yeah,
73%.
that's you're
But
missing out
for
on a lot of the
me, I
fun.
think if men paid more attention to the tenderness part of sexy, they would understand how sexy that prelude is, as opposed to just going in, for the act, because it really does build up to a lot of fun.
Of course, and then as I'm getting older, my testosterone's down a bit,
Sure,
and I'm not super focused on that. And that
sure.
cuddling and all that stuff, that's very often is the best part.
Yeah. It
Or
really is a
yeah,
gift. And so that's my sexy talk. It's
there you
not.
go. I liked it, and it's not very sexy, but it's something.
But isn't it interesting that childhood memories dove into porn and then sexy talk dove into just be nice?
It's all one big circle. My name's Tom Wise
And my name is Melinda McKinsey from Brooklyn, New York. Where do you live, Tom?
in Tarpon Springs, Florida,
That's
30
right.
minutes from the Tampa airport.
And there you go. And this was us unpacking some shit.
Packing some shit. Thanks for joining us.
It was fun.
See you next time.
Bye.
Where's that off button?